Hi everyone, today I'm going to make a video to show you how to draw this horse for a chest piece. So if you followed my other videos, you would have seen the other two pieces that I've already drawn. It's a castle and a pawn. And so this is the third piece that I'm drawing for that board. And just to give you an example of what it's going to look like, it's going to look like this when you're done. So if you follow step by step, you would be able to draw this. So to start with, we're going to draw the base of this piece, and as you can see on my example, the bottom is round and the top piece is flat. So we're going to start with the width of our piece, and it states that this point to this point is 26 millimeters, and the height of this 45-degree angle is 2, so that gives me a width of 2 as well. So the total width of this bottom piece is going to be 30 millimeters. Then we're going to go up 3 millimeters, and we're going to go up another 2 millimeters. Then with my polar tracking enabled on 45 degrees, I can draw a 45-degree line that's 2 millimeters high, and delete that piece. So next we're going to have to draw this circle or arch that is shown here, and to do that you're going to need 2 points to draw this. So it's this point over here, and next we're going to use that point over there. So to draw the top line, we're going to use a diameter of 20 millimeters, so in essence it's going to be a radius of 10. So I'm going to draw a line of 10 millimeters, and I'm going to move it over to the center of my drawing, or the drawing that I'm using. There's going to be a center. Now I have to get the height of this, and it's going to be 8.97 high. So I'm going to move up this line with M, enter, 8.97. So there I have 2 points to draw that circle with. So I'm going to go into the circle command by pressing C, enter, then 3P to go into 3 points to select. Then I'm going to select that point and the diameter of whatever is stated. So the radius, as you can see, it's going to be 6. So the diameter is going to be 12, and that's going to be the third point of my circle. So the next step is to trim off the excess of the circle with TR, enter. So then we have another line coming up from that corner. It's going to be 1 millimeter as stated on the drawing, and also another line of 2 millimeters high. Then we're going to need a width line that's going to be 16 millimeters as stated here. So I'm going to the center and use that height as a reference. I'm going to draw a line of 8 millimeters. So now I can remove that height line. So next we're going to use those 2 points again, and a radius as a third point. So we're going to C, enter, 3P, enter. We're going to use that point and a diameter of 4, because the radius stated on the drawing is 2 millimeters. So now I'm going to trim away the extra pieces of this circle and make sure you get everything. Sometimes it overlaps with those 2 points that you've chosen. So now I can delete that piece, and I'm left with just a profile of what's going to be the bottom foot piece. So now I can remove that line. I can shorten this line by half, and there I have a center line that I'm going to use quite a lot in this drawing. So the next step is to draw this arch over here, and to get an arch you have to use the same principle as these two circles. You have to use 3 points. So in this drawing it shows us that there is 3 points that we can use, and the bottom one is going to be 13.22 in diameter. So I'm going to draw a line of 13.22. Then I'm going to move it to the center of my drawing. And I'm going to use that center line. So the bottom, the first line that I'm going to, or point that I'm going to use to draw that circle is going to be this one here. And the second point is going to be 21.71 high. So I'm going to draw a height line of 21.71. So line 21.71. And that's going to be 7.12 from my center line. So I can use this point. So 7.12 from my center line. So there you have 2 points again to draw an arch. So I'm going to circle, then I type in 3P, enter. So I'm going to use that first point, and then the second point, and the third point is going to be the radius or the diameter of the arch. So I've made a mistake, so I started with that top circle and I had to start with this bottom arch. So to get the bottom arch, I'm going to use this height that is stated on this side. It's 7.04. So 7.04 is going to be the height, and it's going to be 8.67 from the center line. 8.67 from the center line, and if I use these two, I can use this width line and just move it down to there. Now I can draw the arch with the same principle as the 3-point circle. So I go into the circle command and then type in 3P, enter. I use that point, and a diameter of 32.16. So 32.16. It's going to be your third point. Then you can trim away the extra pieces of the circle, and you can delete all the extra lines that are not used. So you're left with this arch of 16.08 in radius. So I can mirror this because it shows that the other side has the same arch at the bottom. So I can go into modify mirror, use my center line, and there you have that arch on that side as well. So the next circle we're going to draw is going to be the one going outwards with a radius of 12.68, and we need 2 points for this as well. So I know that the second or the first point is going to be this one at the bottom, and the second point is going to be 7.12 from the center. So I'm going to draw a line of 7.12, and the height is going to be 21.71, and a height line of 21.71, enter. So as you can see, there is my second point. So I can delete that height line. I'm going to circle, enter, 3 points, enter. I'm going to use this point and that point, and then the radius as, or the diameter as my third point. So the third point is going to be 25.36. 25.36, enter. Now I can trim off the extra pieces of the circle and delete whatever is not trimmed. So there I have another point on this drawing. So I've drawn up to this point. So next I want to get, this is going to be a straight line from this point to there. It's going to be a straight line, and as you can see, it's directly on the center line, and that is going to be 29.38 high. So I'm going to use the center. It's 29.38 high. Then I can just draw a line down from there. So to get the next point, it's going to be 1 millimeter past the center line. So I can go 1 millimeter past, 1 millimeter, and the height of, let's see if I can find the height. So we're going to follow this line, 33.35. From there, 33.35. So there is the point that I've drawn. Now I can remove the extra lines. It's also always easy to clean the drawing while you are busy with it. Otherwise you're going to get a lot of extra lines or miss a few lines when you want to clean up after. So the next point is going to be from here to here. So as you can see, it's 0.78 from the center line. So I'm going to use that as a reference. In 0.78, enter. And the height of that point is going to be, we follow this line, 35.84. So 35.84, and from there I can draw up to there and connect the two lines, and then I have the next point. So the next point is going to be the one of this front part of the horse. It's going to be 12.3 from the center line. So 12.3, get a point anywhere on the center line. So 12.3, and the height of that is going to be 34.9. So I'm going to line, enter, 34.9. That's the height. So from this point, I'm using those as reference points. That is the front part of the horse's mouth. Then the next point from there is going to be 14 from the center line. So I go into my center line, anywhere on it, I'm going to draw 14.14, and the height is going to be 38.65. 38.65. So from there to there, that's going to be the next point. So I can delete those as well. So from here to here, it's going to be the next point. So from the center, it's going to be 3.08. It's going to be from the center line, and the height is going to be, let's just follow the line, 45.91. So I draw a line, 45.91. So from here, I have to get those two as reference points. So the next point is going to be 4.18 from the center line. So the next one is 4.18, enter, and the height's going to be, let's just get that line and follow it, 47.59. So 47.59 up. So from this point to a reference between those two, so there's your next point. And then from here, it's the second to last point that we need. It's going to be 1.33 from the center. 1.33 from the center. And the height is going to be 75 from the bottom of the horse, the foot piece. So 75. So we need to get a reference between those 2 points from there to there, and that is not correct because I skipped a point. So I'm going to leave that top point, and I need to get that point right here. The height of that's going to be 50.32. .32. It's going to be on the center line as shown. I'm going to remove those two lines. And from there, you can use that point that I've previously drawn. Delete that line, delete that line, and the last thing that is left to do is to draw this arch of a radius of 42.07. So you have that point, you have that point. Now you can go into circle, 3P, enter, use that point, and you need a diameter of 84.14. 84.14. Now you can trim off with TR, enter. And if I'm going too fast for you to follow, please note that my keystrokes are shown here. So if you miss a command or I didn't say it, you can just check it in this bottom corner. So as you can see, we are done with drawing the top piece and the bottom piece. So the bottom piece is going to be a rotate. We're going to use the 3D rotate function, but before that you have to join all the lines together with J, enter. So I can go to revolve, select those lines, draw a center, and hit enter for 360 degrees. So the next piece is going to be the horse's head, and we're going to just check the dimensions, and as you can see here, it's shown it's 10 millimeters wide. So I'm going to use press pull function. I'm going to move, or just to make a copy of this, with CO, enter, and use the previously selected lines with P, enter, right click to accept the command. The reason I'm doing this is because, as you can see, this press pull, there's no island isolated there, because that line that was here has been used to revolve the bottom piece. So I can just close there, and I can use the press pull function, 10 millimeters. Now I can move it into place. I'm going to use the center of the bottom and just move it to the point on the line that you have left here. So you can stop here if you want, but as you can see in my example, I used the chamfer function all around just to give it a nicer look, a more smooth look instead of this sharp look. that you get from just a normal press pull function. So the next thing you can do is you can use the solid union function. Select the two pieces, then you can rotate with the 3D rotate function. Use this bottom as a center point and rotate it 90 degrees. So you can stop here if you want. I didn't want to stop there because as you can see, the edges over here go over the chamfer or the arch that you've created. So you can go to solid, fillet edge, and leave it at the default radius of 1, and just select all the edges of your horse. You have to zoom in some parts just to get everything. So as you can see, each line is still kept individually, even if you use the press pull function and made it a solid. So as you can see now, it fits perfectly into that bottom circle. So you can do the same with the other side. And I hope you learned something today. I hope I showed you something new. And then I'll hope to see you next time for the next piece we're going to draw of the chessboard. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.